So we're talking about turning black women out. That's not a good PR.
I have a question. I have a
Like,
question for the
no
room.
Clubhouse. Call me Madam Goddess. That's Ryan.
I have a question for the room. Did he, if he started the freak offs today, how long could he get away with it? Or, we have social media and stuff like that. Everybody has like phones now and camera phones and stuff like that. Would he be able to get away with it, or what do you guys think about that?
I think it would be much more difficult. No, I mean, I think the environment has actually changed so much regarding these things that, I mean, even just the appearance of it, probably. I mean, you saw that. What's that? That football player who got caught on that boat handing pink pills to one of the girls. It's like, I mean, those are things happen. Like, I mean, I used to live in South Beach, and I mean, those things were passing drugs and all that stuff used to happen ridiculously back in the day. It was like now, it's like, I mean, there's so much, like you said, there's so many videos and everything being captured. Like the only way you could be able to maintain that on a long level is if you were to, restrict people having access to anything that can record, which is basically about anything right now.
I don't know. Part of me says it might be easier because a lot of these younger artists, etc., might be more open to it.
I wanted to say. Oh no, I know. I just wanted to say I agreed with CEO's comment that he made earlier. That if you don't have some type of personal growth, you're never going to be satisfied. I sincerely believe that.
Yeah, I was just saying though, see, I think that this generation positively is a lot more conservative than back then. I mean, if you look at, like, for example, spring break videos and all of these things that used to happen in clubs back in the 80s, 90s, a lot of that, I mean, people know better now, and I think it's that awareness of the fact that they're going to be captured on video, and I mean, it might stain them for their lives, that has actually created that inhibition.
Well, yeah, no, that's true, but the ones who aren't conservative are more open about their sexuality and what they do and more bold about it. You see what I'm saying?
I hate to tell y'all this because I can tell this is who you're in proximity to type of conversation. They're not anywhere near as conservative as it used to be. Not only are they not conservative, they're documenting it on video. And there's so many opportunities and openings if you know where and when and what. It's fucking insane. Like, what are y'all talking about? Conservative?
Nah, Jimmy,
world?
No, I don't think you have to be in proximity. That's the point I'm trying to make here. So I've been in proximity. As I said, no, I mean, if you knew, I mean, without context, as I told you, I used to live in South. I used to live at the Mondrian. The same, the Mondrian where.
I've been to the ton of times.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. So exactly. So I used to live there. So that's what I'm saying. It's like, I mean, I've been in proximity, but the point I'm making is that now it's much more under wraps. So I mean, if you go to the VIP, or if you go to the penthouse, or you go to the private mansion, then you'll see all of those things. But I remember like South Beach or even Cancun. I mean, those places back in like the 90s, you didn't have to go to those places to see those things. It was like out in public. I mean, you remember Girls Gone Wild, and I mean those type and even that sneak video you're talking about, West Coast Productions. Like, I mean, those things used to be open. Like, I mean, people were capturing it as it was happening out in public, on the beach, on Ocean Drive, everywhere. So that's what I'm saying now. It's like, now the fact that it's gone behind the velvet rope is a fact that, I mean, I'm not saying that you don't still have the freaks. I'm just saying that they're not as prevalent and they're not as out there.
Yeah, no, I'll tell you, my greatest regret in my early 20s was I missed Freaknik by 1 year.
Oh, CEO. I went to school in Atlanta, right?
Oh, did you?
Yes. I was at the first Freaknik, and it really was
No.
Freaknik changed. Yeah, yes, Gemini. No, but Freaknik changed over the years. It didn't start out the way people think that it went. That it did go down years later, but like it didn't start off that way. It really was like a college campus, college team organizing type of thing. And it was
Dr.
so
Goddess, no. You're not gonna black power this. It's literally called Freaknik. It's
Well,
literally
it had
called
a
Freak.
different.
Freaky.
Well,
Come
well,
on, Dr. Goddess.
Niggas.
no. Like, no, I agree, but that wasn't the original name either. So I just wanted to say that. Like, what? No, so let me just describe what we encountered. Okay, so Freaknik, yeah, oh God, I mean, yeah. So that did become the name. So I'm just gonna keep calling it Freaknik. But what it started off being was they chose a venue off campus, and I don't even remember exactly where it was at first, but what I do remember about it is that there were like 3 or 4 different, I'm going to call them barns, okay? But we were definitely in some type of a park. We were in some type of outside area. Okay, the music was loud as hell. You had a bit of a drive, and the drive was important because you had to drive through downtown Atlanta, okay? They had different parties in different barns, but they were all close together. So you could literally party hop, and you would be in the reggae barn. Then you go hop over, and you would be in the hip hop barn. It's like that's how it started, okay? Then there was easily kind of like what are you going to do beforehand? Then it was like, what are you going to do after? Right? And so that then like what ended up happening is like a lot of people from Miami, a lot of people from the surrounding states and cities were like, oh, they partying in Atlanta. And that's when it started to become overcrowded, and it was still fun, I'll admit, that like it just even driving through the streets in Atlanta became fun. It was like you didn't even have to try to go to the party because there was so much traffic. I mean, me and my girls, we met people like just in traffic. Like, okay, give me your number. You cute? What you doing? Like just literally talking to people who were going the opposite direction. It just became packed. And then after it became packed, to be honest, it just kind of got like downright trifling. So I'll tell y'all that like it got to the point where I remember Minister Khaled was in town, and I'm talking about Khaled Muhammad, right? He was like, I saw a woman walking butt naked down the street. I mean, it got real trifling. So I'll admit that, but I'm just telling y'all that's not how it started, and it definitely got bigger. People came from all over, and it got nastier. That's my narrative.
And this is your Freaknik origin story.
Right. She sounds like all the people that said that I went to a Diddy party, but I didn't see the name.
But I didn't hear anybody.
So on the culture shift thing.
But I mean, it was fun.
She's the Denzel in the Freak Off story.
Exactly. But no, I mean, you didn't have like. I'll admit, I saw a lot. I definitely saw a lot, but you didn't have to do that stuff if you weren't on that level. You know what I mean? It's just, so we definitely were looking around like, wow. But no, I don't care where. I didn't put it this way. Me and my girls, we didn't get nervous when we found out that the documentary was coming out. Okay, because we didn't do stuff like that. I'm not saying that we were goody two shoes either, but I'm just saying like we weren't gonna be naked and stuff like that.
Y'all
just,
made
you know.
Shut, I got you.
So
What'd you say?
on the culture shift point, Gemini, I mean, you think like a Larry Flint or a Hugh Hefner could be like someone starting off now could be a media icon or doing the same thing that
No, it's not. Me Too Society has changed that. Like, a lot of the things that people were open-minded, it's almost like, can we go back to the hippie days? You can't revert back to that. Like, we're past that point in time. It's going to be criticized on a certain level at this point. It's just what it is, bro. Like, there's no way. Even he was criticized, but was able to slide through. There were, if right now he was alive, it would be a matter of time before there was a girl or two that was like, I really didn't want to be there, and he brought multiple men into my room, and who knows what would happen. Because if you read any of the Playboy models tell-all books, they didn't make it sound like it was, all consensual or all hunky-dory, or they wanted every encounter that they encountered. You know what I mean? So that aspect would have came to light. Somebody else tried to do that. That'd be like Russian roulette.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, he couldn't. I mean, nobody could do that now. It's like it's shifted.
Okay, so let me put on something else in New York, right? Indian parade.
Gotten less conservative, certain more conservative.
No, I mean it's like so between the Puerto Rican parade, the West Indian parade, like I'll admit that I started seeing more on television about people being like outright violated, but that wasn't my experience when I was going to the West Indian parade. It's not like we had fun. There was always like the sexual aspect of it, lesser clothes and stuff like that. Yes, I'll say for sure. And we've always been more expressive with our dancing. So yes, people were twerking, but this sort of like outright violations of women and stuff, like it's like more and more started to pop up like every year.
Yeah, that's where it gets crazy, because I mean, I wouldn't even know how to navigate a situation like that now, because I'm Jamaican. Literally, it's funny that, I mean, a lot of those things probably you could have did, and it wouldn't have been considered as offensive. As I'm saying, all of these women, half naked, you're walking around dancing. Like, I mean, you could literally, like, walk up to a girl and, start dancing behind her, and she would take it personally.
Exactly.
But the real eye-opening has been since Elon, I suppose, bought Twitter. So and then retrospectively applying what I have come to see and learn against the other people I've encountered on this app who just happen to be Jewish. Like the first version of Clown House, which is what I refer to as Clubhouse. When I was first on here, it was like audio LinkedIn. Like it sounds very grand, but it's not really. It's just a hoop jumping exercise. But in my primary business, I have a partnership agreement with Facebook. Basically, I can post on other people's behalf, which basically, of course, if I abused that, I'd get immediately shit canned or whatever. So I don't. But so you have to jump through quite a few hoops to kind of be approved for that. But it's like a walled garden type thing. Like it's very hard to get in, and then even when you're in, you don't know how to get out. But you don't know you can't talk to anybody. You get an email maybe for someone, but I've never spoken to anyone per se, like on the phone. And even though I've done this for years, but Clubhouse was amazing in a way because I ended up, just as an example, like the Facebook thing is only one tiny small part of what I do, but I ended up speaking to the global head of the department that I have the agreement with, and like he followed me and I followed him, and like we were in rooms together and whatever. So it was like on LinkedIn, it was like real world almost, real identity, real world in the very beginning. But then of course time went on, the sky was falling, it was lockdowns, vaccines, blah blah blah. And then we started to really, it's like high school, second year high school, third.
Like outright violations and being sexually harassed.
They've been doing it. They've been sexually harassing people since I was a kid.
Oh, okay, so
It's
you
just
say
like
it was
you
always like
you go right off East Parkway. So even when I was a little kid, we get on the train and we'd have to get off, get to the Dollar Town. When I wasn't even supposed to be freaking like looking that way when they had the Labor Day parade. They was violating people mother with their children. Like they don't care.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think it's gotten better, Dr. Gonzalez. I mean, literally, in my early.
You know, I had to go up there, and that's when my daughter started school. So I used to stay, but well, I got better because I'm asking you.
Oh, so
You might have a different view of what.
well, I mean, so the truth is, I mean, I haven't been. I wasn't talking to that specifically earlier because I mean we were talking about just the general culture. But I mean, I haven't been to Eastern Parkway. But I think the last time I went was probably around 2015. So I mean, I literally have not been in 10 years. So I mean, I wasn't. When I say got better, I wasn't even speaking to that alone. But I was using other examples too, and she brought up the Eastern Parkway. So I mean, what I was saying earlier, Patty, I mean, is that I mean, like for a large part of like my early 20s, like I mean, even going out, like I mean, even in cases where I didn't know these women, it's like I used to get the role of designated bodyguard to prevent some of the things that Dr. Curtis was talking about, like guys just grabbing girls and tops and all of that stuff. And I mean, I don't really, I still go out every once in a while, and I mean, I just don't see that happening the way that it used to back in the early 2000s. So that's what I was saying.
Yeah, I've never watched it, but
I'm just
I
extra.
know that people refer to it.
Yeah. Hello? Hey, how's it going? Can you hear me? No, I'm at home. Huh? I'm good. How are you doing? Oh, you got those COVID-19 vaccine syndrome.
I would say 3-4 months. I've gotten sick at least like 3 or 4 times, like once a month.
Damn. I mean, fucking look at your diet, like how much alcohol have you had to drink in 3 or 4 months? I mean, I had a gout flare up, that's because of my diet,
But my diet's been actually very good, but I have been drinking a lot.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not mineral water from the Swiss
I've
Alps.
also been swapping spit a lot.
Oh, you got that. You got the whooping crane syndrome.
So,
Yeah.
swapping spit, multiple girls, and, short time spent too.
Yeah. That'll do it, man. I mean, sit out in the sun, work on your diet, exercise. They say taking hot baths really improves your, immune system. So, I don't know, just gotta take better care of yourself.
Then I was thinking of going to King's Spa.
Yeah. Yeah, that place is freaking awesome.
Yeah. And how about you? How have you been?
Life is good. It's just the life of a campaign congressman-elect.
Amazing. And did you end up having a gathering of tens of girls on your boat?
Wouldn't that been awesome? No, I don't know. I gotta look at Hinge to see which profile that was exchanging messages with, but no, that did not come to fruition. But I have had a good, past couple weeks down at the boat, but nothing to really, gossip about. Just, hanging out, swimming, stretching, eating on my dime, but no love making to gossip about.
No love making? I bet a little bit.
Nothing, the Scarlet Pimpernel doesn't kiss and tell, and they seek him here, they seek him there. Those blasted French, they seek the Scarlet Pimpernel everywhere. So, nothing really new, man. Just, I gotta finish up this letter for work, and I'm gonna head to the gym in a little bit. What are you doing?
What letter?
This lawsuit complaint letter. They're asking for more details, so I have to actually pay for my old Gmail account to regain access so I can forward the emails, or I may just download the documents and not pay for it, but I have to provide receipts. They're asking for receipts.
And which lawsuit is this?
This is an EEO complaint of sexual harassment and discrimination. Excuse me?
Okay. This is the sexual harassment.
Yep, and workplace discrimination and toxic workplace, all kinds of complaints about, and it's interesting, it's like, I don't know what will happen with this, but we'll see. And then I also have to do some other stuff for Social Security. I have to file that appeal. I got a lot of paperwork I gotta do still. It's just like everything's lingering.
Oh,
So, I don't know, everything's going and flowing, just gotta keep going. What's new? Are you like at home? Are you at the office?
no, I'm at home today. It's the end of the quarter, so they want, sales to come through, and I've been working on the sale with 3M for months now. And I found out today that it's delayed by a few days, so it's not gonna come in today. So it's upsetting.
Have you seen Andrew, the consummate gentleman?
Yes. I've seen him a couple times around here, but I was out last week with a girl in the Viagra Triangle and saw him with a girl too, so we passed each other.
Nice. Who was with the hotter chick?
They were comparable.
Comparable? But
Yeah.
one is authentic, one is paid for?
For, I mean, yeah, was his standard Asian,
Hmm.
and mine was a white girl
Nice.
that just moved here from Indianapolis.
Nice. Have you read the Tanya at all?
Not today. I should get on that.
What are you waiting for, bro? It's just waiting there for you to take in all that positive vibrations and infinite light.
Have you read it today?
Yeah, I did a Tanya room today for 10 minutes.
Nice.
And then I read this book about the arrest and imprisonment of Rabbi Zalman Rabbi Zalman from Liadi, who was like the founder of Hasidism. And there's this one I read a really interesting page. It's like a document called like the Kotokoni or something. And it was a letter he issued to the Hasidim after he was released from prison about humility. It's really interesting. It's like the more you study Torah, the more humble you get.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's it. I'm headed to the gym. But let's go down to the boat, man. I'm telling you, Friday, Saturdays, Sundays there, everybody's in bikinis, and it's pretty cool. But, I can't find a buyer, so soon I'll be abandoning ship. I mean, we have till basically October 31st to enjoy it, and it's not costing me anything, so let's enjoy it.
Costing you anything?
I'm not paying them anymore. Like, I'm abandoning ship. Like, they're gonna auction the boat off at the end of the year. So, I'll strip it down and just leave it.
Why? Because you're not paying for the dock?
Yeah, I'm not paying for the slip.
And have they sent you letters regarding it?
They sent me an email saying you are now past due. Pay this amount to come to present to terms. And I'm just like, nah.
But aren't they going to cut off your access to the gates and stuff?
I don't think so. I mean, I got the PIN code earlier in the season, so I think they're just gonna like send it to collections, and that's how they'll deal with it. And they'll seize the boat because like I'm not gonna like put it anywhere. I mean, yeah, I guess I could like float it out to the Great Lakes, but let's just leave it there and let them auction it off. Because last year they sent me a list of all the boats that are for auction that have been abandoned for the season. So a lot of people actually just leave the boats and abandon them.
Really?
Yeah, because you can't really always find a buyer, and you know, I mean, maybe if I put it up for $1, maybe somebody would fucking take it. I could try it, but the thing is, why put it up for $1 and get rid of it now? Like, I'll just abandon it at the end of the season and enjoy the shit out of it. You know.
Yeah.
Well, I can.
Because next summer you don't want it.
No, because I'd have to keep paying these fucking fees. I'm done. I can't afford it. Like, it'll drain me.
And how much are you past due?
I don't know, like 1,500 probably, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, there's just no point continuing. Like, it's a great location, but I mean, it would be really nice if I could actually fucking sail it. You know, you could actually enjoy it. You know, I'd have to find somebody, but I'm done with the money. Like, that's it. Like, fuck, you know, c'est la vie. Who gives a shit? Like, I've already maxed it out, and so you know, I'd rather have money for food. Food, the gym, my car is more important than the boat. You know, like, dude, not having a car would be brutal. I mean, like, I wouldn't even be able to get to the gym. You know, let alone any other places of importance.
Is there a gym that's close enough to walk or no?
No, not really. There's a municipal gym. I've been meaning to look at it. It's like a Chicago Park District gym, but I need to go over there. But that one would be within walking distance. But LA Fitness is not. But man, I mean, I like the LA Fitness. Like, the equipment, everything works. Everything's great. It's beautiful people there. You know, it's a good spot. And they got food. They got Chipotle. They got a couple other restaurants. It's like, thank God it's close by.
And what about converting, one of your apartments into a gym?
Yeah, I did that in the first floor. I put down all these rubber mats and everything. So the wood flooring is all covered, and like, I've got my weights down there. Yoga mats. It's like a good place to work out.
And how about getting like a treadmill or something?
Probably not, dude. This house is fucking 100 years old, and to like run on a fucking treadmill would like fucking probably fall through the fucking ceiling. The light downstairs crashed through the wall. Like, it was so fucking heavy. I'm just like, I can't believe they mounted this thing. It weighs like, 50 pounds. Everything is old and needs updating and replacement, But you'll see. I'm sure when your rent goes to $1,800 a month and you're like, hey, can I rent one of your places? I'll be like, yeah, come and experience 100 years of construction. Fucking, you hear the plaster in the wall falling all the time. You're like, Jesus. But let's hang out. I mean, come to the beach, or I'll take the Blue Line down, and like, let's do Lifetime if you can get a pool pass.
Okay.
And let's try to I mean, I don't know, like, I guess we dodged a bullet with the nightclub with Andrew, but how's your parents and your brother doing?
They're good. They renovated their whole new place, and today is a big moving day of all the new furniture and things like that. And then Wednesday is when all of their stuff from Holy House shows up.
Is your brother ever gonna come to Chicago?
Maybe, I don't know, but for the most part, he's staying down there. I know his girlfriend didn't get the job that she wanted at Boston Consulting Group in Nashville, and now is looking at other jobs in like Austin and I don't know, other cities around the country. And she's like, so Jack, are you are you moving with me? So I know he's stressed about that because his intention is to stay in Nashville.
Yeah, well, he'll know what to do. His intuition will tell him what to do, if she leaves town.
Yeah.
Anyways, alright, well, have a great day, and, try to read 10 minutes at Tanya. You'll be amazed.
Okay.
Okay, take care. I'll talk to you soon.
Okay, you too, sir.
Okay, bye.
Everybody knows that. We don't want to think that, but he is. He's a maggot. We care, you know. Well, no, I know, but I just want to make sure that anybody who's listening to it on YouTube knows that he's a really horrible, awful human being. He claims to be a veteran. He's not a veteran. He's actually a convicted felon. Under Trump, which it's about 3,000.
And like he said here, he wasn't going after the farmers that do our fruits and vegetables, but they've already been impacted. They're gone.
But y'all Cali though, right? So he's gonna have a special hard on for anything in Cali. So
That's a good point.
So there's a couple more things in the news. I'd like to wrap up work, but did y'all know about a firebombing attack that happened a couple months ago in Boulder, Colorado? The person, one of the people, victim of the Boulder bombing attack dies. She died today. One of the victims, an 82-year-old woman wounded in a Boulder, Colorado firebombing attack on marchers who had gathered in early June to support Israeli hostages, had died of her injuries, prosecutors announced on Monday. That turned the crime into a possible death penalty against the Egyptian man charged with the attack after the authorities say he shouted pro-Palestinian slogans as he threw Molotov cocktails into the crowd. Many called the attack an act of anti-Semitism. So, do you remember that happened? You know, there's so much incidences, but I feel like we talked about it a couple months ago. But Ms. Diamond was part of a group of marchers who had been walking down the outdoor pedestrian Pearl Street Mall in Boulder as part of the Run for Their Lives, which walks in support of Israeli hostages who had been held in Gaza since October 7, 2023, attack on Hamas. In a social media post, the group called her death a heavy and heartbreaking moment. I'm not going to repeat what the defendant said, but you could imagine. Yeah, I'm going to skip over what he said. 13 people were physically injured in the attack, including 8 who were sent to the hospital with burns and other injuries. The Boulder District Attorney's Office said on Monday that it had identified a total of 29 victims from the attack. So that was an attack that happened in March of this year, and I guess because one of the victims died, as she was wounded and she finally died, they can now go after the death penalty. So that was part of the firebombing attack. And then, of course, we have that other attack. Does anyone have updates with the whole fire situation? I heard one person died. But I don't know, that was and now they're saying that the fire was intentionally started. Do y'all know what I'm talking about?
yeah, it was intentionally started, and then the person who did it all self-terminated.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, we found them last night.
Okay, well, we're late, because I didn't know that. Thank you.
Comforting
quiet.
Everybody knows that. We don't want to think that, but he is. I am blocked from Comrade's room, so I don't know what it's called.
Same here. Oh, I can see it. Well, I can see it. I don't know if you guys.